It was an evening like any other, or so I thought. The sky had settled into a deep indigo, the kind of color that seems to draw all warmth from the air. I was sitting in my small apartment, lost in thought, reflecting on the path my life had taken. I had always been ambitious, always strived to achieve more, but lately, it felt as if I had hit a wall. No matter how hard I worked, no matter how many hours I put in, success seemed to slip further and further out of reach. The room was silent except for the occasional creak of the old wooden floorboards. I remember feeling a strange sense of unease, like the air was thickening around me. It started as a slight pressure in my chest, then, gradually, the temperature seemed to drop. The hairs on the back of my neck stood up, and I had the distinct feeling that I was not alone. At first, I thought I was imagining things. I'd been under a lot of stress after all, but then, out of the corner of my eye, I saw it. A faint shimmer in the air, almost like a heat wave, but cold. I turned to look directly at it, and my breath caught in my throat. There, standing in the middle of my living room, was a figure. It wasn't a person, at least not in the traditional sense. It was more like a presence, a being of light that seemed to pulse gently with a soft golden glow. My heart pounded in my chest as I tried to make sense of what I was seeing. I wanted to run, to hide, but I was frozen in place, rooted to the spot by a combination of fear and awe. The figure didn't move at first, it just hovered there as if waiting for something. When it finally spoke, its voice was like a melody, resonating in my mind rather than my ears. "Do not be afraid," it said. "I am here to show you the way." The voice was calming, yet it carried an immense weight, as if it spoke with the authority of ages. I managed to stammer out, Who are you?" "I'm a messenger," the figure replied. "I'm here to guide you to the path of your true purpose." The air around the figure seemed to shimmer and ripple with energy. It wasn't threatening, but it was undeniably powerful. I felt a sense of peace begin to wash over me, dulling the edge of my fear. It was as if the presence was enveloping me in a protective aura. "What do you want from me?" I asked, still struggling to process what was happening. The figure's glow intensified slightly, as if in response to my question. "It is not about what I want, but about what you need. You have been seeking success in the material world, but true success comes from understanding your connection to the divine. You have been chosen to receive this knowledge, to use it wisely, and to find the key to your own potential." As the figure's words sank in, I felt a strange mix of emotions. I had always been a rational person, someone who relied on logic and hard work to get ahead. The idea that there was something more, something spiritual guiding my path was foreign to me. And yet, as I stood there facing this ethereal presence, I couldn't deny the truth of what it was saying. The figure continued, "Success is not measured by wealth, power, or recognition, though these are the things you have been chasing. True success is found in alignment with your higher purpose, in understanding the deeper meaning behind your existence." I struggled to comprehend what this presence was telling me. My whole life, I had believed that success was something tangible, something you could see and measure. It was the promotion, the salary, the house, the respect of others. But here, in this moment, I was being told that everything I had worked for was only a shadow of true success, a mere reflection of something much greater. "What is this higher purpose?" I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. The figure seemed to pulse with light, and I felt warmth spread through my chest. "Your higher purpose is the fulfillment of your soul's calling. It is the path that leads to inner peace, to true happiness, and to a life that resonates with the divine. It is the key to unlocking your full potential, not just as a person, but as a spiritual being." I was silent, absorbing the enormity of what I was hearing. The presence before me wasn't just giving me advice, it was offering me a roadmap to a different kind of success, one that went beyond the material and touched the very core of my existence. The figure continued, "This is why I have come to you. You have been chosen to receive this guidance because you are ready to understand the truth. But know this, the path to true success is not an easy one. It requires sacrifice, dedication, and a willingness to look beyond what is seen, to trust in what is felt." "How do I begin?" I asked, feeling both eager and terrified. The idea of abandoning everything I thought I knew about success was daunting, but at the same time I felt a deep yearning to discover this higher purpose. "You must start by looking within," the figure said. "Examine your life, your desires, your fears. What drives you? What holds you back? You must understand these things before you can move forward. And once you have done that, You must let go of the things that no longer serve you, the fear, the doubt, the need for validation. Only then can you begin to align with your true purpose. The words resonated with me deeply, striking a chord that I hadn't known existed. It was as if the presence was illuminating a path that had always been there, but that I had been too blind to see. "Will you guide me?" I asked, feeling a sense of vulnerability that I hadn't felt in years. "I will always be with you," the figure replied, "but the journey is yours to take. I can show you the way, but it is up to you to walk the path." And with that, the figure began to fade, its light slowly dimming until it was nothing more than a soft glow that lingered in the air. I stood there for a long time after it had gone, processing everything I had just experienced. I knew that my life could never be the same, that I had been given a glimpse into something far greater than myself. In the days that followed, I found myself reflecting on the encounter constantly. I began to question everything, my goals, my ambitions, even my identity. I realized that so much of my life had been driven by fear, fear of failure, fear of not being good enough, fear of disappointing others. The presence had been right. I needed to let go of these things if I was ever going to find my true purpose. But letting go wasn't easy. The habits and beliefs I had built up over a lifetime were deeply ingrained, and tearing them down felt like ripping out pieces of myself. I started small, meditating each morning and evening, focusing on the things I wanted to release. I practiced gratitude, trying to shift my perspective from what I didn't have to what I did, and slowly, I began to feel a shift, a lightening of the load I had been carrying for so long. However, as I made these changes, I also encountered resistance. The people around me noticed the difference in my behavior, and not everyone was supportive. Friends who had shared my old ambitions didn't understand why I was suddenly less focused on material success. Some questioned my decisions, while others drifted away entirely. It was a lonely time, but I held on to the memory of that divine presence and the message it had given me. I knew I was on the right path, even if it was a difficult one. One night, after a particularly challenging day, I felt the presence return. This time it didn't appear as a figure, but as a gentle warmth that filled the room. I closed my eyes and let it wash over me, feeling a sense of peace that I hadn't felt in weeks. "You are doing well," the voice said, soft and reassuring. "But remember, the journey is long and there will be more challenges ahead. Trust in the process. Trust in yourself." The words gave me strength, and I knew I had to keep going no matter how hard it became. I started to notice small changes in my life, opportunities that seemed to appear out of nowhere, people who came into my life at just the right time, and moments of clarity that helped me make difficult decisions. It was as if the universe was aligning to support my journey, and I began to believe that I was truly on the path to discovering my higher purpose. Months passed, and with each step I took, I felt more in tune with myself and the world around me. The presence that had visited me had become a guiding force in my life, not just in the moments when I felt its warmth, but in every decision I made, every challenge I faced. I had learned to trust my intuition, to listen to the quiet voice within that guided me toward what was right, even when it wasn't easy. One day, as I was meditating, I felt a sudden surge of energy. It was as if a door had opened within me, and I was flooded with understanding. I saw my life laid out before me, not as a series of disconnected events, but as a cohesive whole, a journey that had been leading me to this very moment. And in that moment I understood the key to true success. Success, I realized, is not about what we achieve, but about who we become. It is about aligning with our higher purpose, living in harmony with our true selves, and contributing to the world in a way that reflects the divine within us. It is about love, compassion, and the pursuit of wisdom. It is about finding joy in the journey rather than in the destination. I opened my eyes, feeling a profound sense of peace. I knew that my life's purpose was not something I had to seek out or chase after. It was something that had been within me all along, waiting to be recognized and nurtured. The presence had shown me the way, but the journey was mine to complete. From that day forward, I approached life with a renewed sense of purpose. I continued to face challenges, but they no longer felt insurmountable. I understood that each obstacle was an opportunity to grow, to learn, and to align more closely with my true self. And as I walked this path, I began to experience a level of success that I had never imagined possible. Not in the form of wealth or accolades, but in the deep, abiding satisfaction that comes from living in alignment with my higher purpose. The presence has never truly left me. It is a constant companion, a source of guidance and support that I can always turn to when I need it. And though I still have moments of doubt and fear, I know that I am on the right path, and that true success is not something I will find outside of myself, but something I will cultivate within. So, if you find yourself struggling, if you feel lost or uncertain about your path, remember this: the key to success is not in what you achieve, but in who you become. Trust in yourself, trust in your higher purpose, and know that you are always guided, always supported, even in the darkest of times. And if you've had experiences like mine, moments of divine guidance, encounters with the supernatural, or revelations that have changed the course of your life, I invite you to share them. Together, we can explore the deeper truths that lie beyond the material world and discover the keys to true success that are waiting for each of us.